Welcome to part 2 of our Cadillac CTSV GM Gen 3 HB Tuners training. Now in the last video we learned how to create our base calibration file, going and making the changes we need to in order to get our engine fired off. This video we're actually going to start the process of doing the fuel and spark timing tuning at idle, also looking at how to calibrate our idle control properly. So we're going to be focusing in on what to pay attention to, how to make sure that the base running airflow table is populated properly, how to make sure that your spark timing is working properly. We're also going to be testing our idle with air conditioning on and air conditioning off. So we've covered all of our bases, and that the engine's going to be idling properly so we can start off in our calibration process to start to do the driving, doing the full throttle tuning. We can't do any of that until the idle control is sorted out. So it's always step one here, and it's also one of the most time-consuming things within the calibration process with any GM vehicle when we fitted it with an aftermarket camshaft. Without further wait, let's jump into this video so we can get started tuning our idle control.
Welcome back to our live training session here with our Cadillac CTSV. In our last video, we learned how to create our base calibration file, we've uploaded it to the ECU, and now we're in the status, we're ready to fire up our engine and start our calibration process. This video we're going to be focusing on doing our idle control tuning, making sure that we have everything sorted out so the engine's going to start up and hold its own idle, making sure that all of our idle trims are worked out, making sure that we're going to be able to free rev the engine, it's going to come back into idle properly, and then we can move into the calibration process looking at doing the actual tuning on the mass airflow and the speed density operation. Now, I do want to mention in the last video, we've turned this into a one-bar operating system. We've done that entire write process, the end of the last video. Now we're ready to work with and running in speed density mode. So we've eliminated the mass airflow sensor as part of the airflow registration. So we're going to have to sort out some of the fuel and some of the spark timing here at idle within our speed density mode. Now, when I'm in a GM Gen 4, I typically go and switch it over to a mass airflow mode and do the calibration process. When I'm to get the process started and to sort out the idle control, when I'm in a GM Gen 3, I like to go and work with speed density right away and then introduce the mass airflow sensor at a later point in time. We'll find that GM has intended these to run on primarily running off the map sensor or the speed density mode right off the bat at idle conditions. So I want to go and just eliminate any airflow registration, any influence from the mass airflow sensor to simplify this process. Again, keeping things stripped away and as simple as possible is the best way to start off in the calibration process. We've changed a minimal amount in that last video, creating our base file. So only the things that we absolutely had to go and change and update, that's what I've started with. And then again, we're going to be reviewing those changes here in this video to see what we need to actually alter beyond that. So we don't want to go in and just make a million changes and then try to undo all those changes. It's better to start off with near stock values or as close to stock values as possible in all of our tables, and then start to edit things as we go on within the calibration process. So what we're going to do here, I have my VCM editor open. I have that last file, the one-bar OS patch base that we created in the last video. We want to go here into our VCM scanner. This is going to be the next step in this video to review our idle control here in the very first portion of the video. So what we'll find is that I have my PID list here generated already. This will be available in the course directory. It's going to be everything related to anything we need right here now to do the idle control process. Also taking a look at what's going on with our air fuel, also taking a look at what's going on with our VE table and our mass airflow table if we need to in idle conditions. So we'll find that this chart versus time, or this layout here, this layout is available. And we go here into save layout as. This layout right now is set here as GM Gen 3 CTSV idle tuning. So this will be available in the course directory. So all of our chart versus time and our histograms here will be available. Some of this is redundant to what we found in the Firebird video, but some of it is a little bit tweaked, a little bit specific now to the CTSV. And again, our PID channels list, this is going to be, if we go here to save, this is going to be saved under Gen 3 CTSV idle within the course directory. You'll just be able to download right out of the zip file and open this up if you want to follow along or use it on your own personal vehicle. So what we're finding in this particular format, this is going to be a little bit better suited towards drive-by-wire, idle control tuning. The other one was more suited towards doing a throttle cable-based idle control motor style idle tuning. So it's kind of the difference. Some of what I have here is going to be some redundancy. So some things like our idle air control position and desired here are still remaining. Those are not really relevant at this point with drive-by-wire, but I still have them populated in my master list here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go into our scanner, and we can go here and do start scanning. The very first thing that we need to do is set up I have a Pro cable here, so I have an MPVI 2 Pro cable. I have the Pro Link cable wired in to an AM wideband, and I have that coming into my analog 1 input on my MPVI 2 cable. So we need to go and set that channel up so that our histograms here will work for taking a look at our EQ ratio error for the MAF or the VE EQ ratio error.
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.